chest, into your hips, into your buttocks, to kind of, for the face, it's to kind of feminize you more. And then for the body, it's to make you more voluptuous and shapely like a woman. So I ended up going that route. I mean, it was a while. I did the hormones. I was basically living as a woman, but
how long were you on the hormones for?
Oh my God. I started hormones, I would say, like in my mid-20s, and I was taking hormones for a few years. And it did some, I called them my 13-year-old titties.
Wow.
Well, that's what it gave me. But, honey, I'm a big girl, and I didn't need a
voluptuosity.
Exactly. I sure did. I didn't need the B cup. I needed the D cup, honey.
Yes.
So in order to continue the process, I decided to go that route and go and get pumped.
Okay.
Now, my story is a little different. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, before we go into that, did the process of getting pumped, did that hurt, or was it painful?
It's painful. Yeah, it's painful, honey. You know how they say beauty is pain? Well, yes, it is. And it's usually a burning sensation, and it's more of the you're getting injected, and then the substance as it goes in, it burns. So it does hurt, But again, beauty is pain, and I say that because even if you go to a certified plastic surgeon, there's a certain amount of pain that you have to go through when you go through those different procedures. So
right.
Definitely. And I wanted to be, not only did I want to be a woman, but I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be like a famous movie star, because I went to a performing arts school in Philadelphia, and it was kind of like the Fame, remember the show Fame for all you?
Fame, I want to live forever. Yeah,
yes. Well, it was kind of like that, and I had those sort of dreams. But so not only did I want to be a woman, but I wanted to be a beautiful woman.
A confident woman. You mean a confident woman?
Yes, exactly. Confident and beautiful physically, to be on the camera, to be on screen,
yes.
And so that motivated me to go and get this done. And I went with the understanding that it was silicone that was being used. And initially, everything was fine. I mean, I did my face first, and I really did look beautiful. I mean, if you should see some of the pictures, I really looked good. And I had no reaction initially. Everything was fine. So then I continued to go and get my body done, because to me, I was like, okay, I did my face. Everything seems to be fine. Let me continue to get work done and continue the process.
Right.
So I would say about 10 months to a year down the road is when all hell broke loose, honey, and that's when.
How long? Say that again. How long?
It was about 10 months to a year after I had done my the injections in my face that all hell broke loose. And I say that meaning that I had the horrible reaction in my face, and by that time I had already did my body, so it was kind of like too late.
Right.
Yeah, and I always say that pumping for a girl, it can be a girl's best friend or a girl's worst enemy, because it really can. Because for some girls, they do it and they're fine. They don't have any reaction. Everything is fine, and God bless them. But for me, unfortunately, it messed up my face. And let me tell you, the face is the first thing people see when you go out in public.
Right.
So you can imagine how difficult it was for me. Not only was I affected physically, but it affected me mentally and spiritually,
Yeah, it brought down your confidence level, and then that's where you start not to feel like yourself.
Exactly. That's where you start to feel like you have to hide. Like you don't even want to go out. You want to stay behind closed doors and hide. Because we live in a very, very superficial world.
Right.
So,
would you say it was sort of like a paranoia? Or was
well, this is the thing. I guess in a sense, it may have led to that. But, when you have people coming up looking at you like you're a circus clown, sideshow circus clown, and you have someone walk up to you and just say to you, what the fuck happened to your face? Stuff like nasty stuff like that.
Very ignorant.
It makes you want to run and close the door and don't come out. So it was really difficult in the beginning, especially.
Wow.
But God is good, and I'm still here. And because of all of the different activist work that I've done for the LGBT community, it's amazing. A lot of it I never got paid for. But I'm a firm believer in karma, and what you give out, you get back. And I say that to say that when my face was at its worst, I was in denial. First of all, I didn't have the money to go to a doctor and see about even getting anything corrected. Secondly, I was scared. I was like just praying that it would go away, and it wasn't going away. It was getting worse. So one of the directors at the Yes Institute here in South Florida that I do a lot of work for, public speaking for them, she pulled me aside and she said that she was really concerned about me, that she didn't want to offend me, but she felt like something was really seriously going wrong with my face. And she had a friend that was a plastic surgeon in Coral Gables. She had spoken to him about me, and he was willing to see me. And that was the beginning of me being able to get some help.
That is incredibly awesome. That's a blessing.
A blessing big time. And when I walked into the office, they took me in the room, and when the doctor came in, the first thing he said to me was, honey, what did they do to your face? And I started crying because I was devastated.
Wow.
I was devastated. It was a really hard thing. And let me tell you, let me just say this. I know that the beauty, and I don't want to sound cliche, but I know that the beauty of a person is really from inside, because I don't care how someone looks on the outside. If you're a nasty person, you're going to be ugly physically. So I know where the true beauty is. But it is still hard because we all want to feel comfortable about the way we look physically.
Right.
So he looked at my face, and at the time he didn't know what he was going to do. He said he needed to consult with some of his associates about it, but he looked into my eyes before I left, and he says, I've heard about all the work that you're doing in the community, and he says, I am going to do my best to help you, sweetie. And let me tell you, that was like, oh my God, that was like God said, like finally I was getting the help that I needed. So, and it's amazing because I talked about how karma is, I believe in karma and it's real. Him and I, when my story went actually viral, because I did a local interview here in South Florida, and overnight it was like all over the world. I'm talking like Japan and Germany and Dr. Phil and Anderson Cooper. I mean, they were all calling me, all of the different media outlets globally. And when him and we had gone on Dr. Phil, and we were flying back from Dr. Phil from California, and he said to me, he says, Raji, I could have never afforded all of the publicity that this is getting me for my practice. And I looked into his eyes, on that plane, and I said, Doctor, I said, you helped me when I needed it the most. And you helped me when you knew I couldn't pay for it. You still opened your heart and helped me. And I said, now it is coming back to you. And I'm sorry to be a crybaby, but it touches my soul. So when I said that to him, he like looked at me and he said like, it was like something clicked inside, like, wow, like, yeah, I hear you. So.
That is magnificent. That is such a blessing. You don't understand.
Yeah, very much so.
For you to be here and tell this story is amazing. That is more than just a confident woman. To me, that is a mecca of, loyalty and faith.
Thank you.
To people all around the world.
Thank you. And I feel so blessed because I was saying to my mom recently, I said, it's amazing how blessings come from things that we least expect. This thing that happened to me that I suffered a lot from, and I continue to suffer from, has brought me so many blessings. If you could know the messages that I get from people around the world. I'm talking about the other day, some guy on my Facebook, he found me, and he sent me a message from China.
Oh, wow.
And he said that he had heard about my story, and him and his friends wanted to send their love and that they're supporting me. So I've heard from people all across the world, the Philippines, Denmark, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Puerto Rico. I mean, it has been phenomenal.
That is mind-blowing and phenomenal. Yes, it is.
It is. To know that, my story is not only helping to educate the community, the world, people, but also it's given me a platform to advocate more for our people, for the LGBT community. Because, we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. And so, I'm so happy that I'm able to at least do that sort of work. Because, I made a decision years ago. I was beaten up because I was targeted for being trans by some guys. Yes, I was brutally beaten up, and
oh my God.
I survived that. And I thought to myself, if I had died, would I have been able to go knowing that I made a positive difference for my people, for my LGBT people? And that was the moment that I decided that I was going to go full speed ahead and really start to advocate and do my activist work. So it's everything happens for a reason, and like I said, good things and blessings come from bad things, from bad scenarios.
You're right. And that is the beauty of life sometimes. Sometimes you have to go through the worst to get to that golden sunshine,
Exactly, to that rainbow, honey. Yes, you gotta go through the storm, and you can just look at nature. After it rains and it storms, the rainbow appears. So it's a metaphor for our lives. I think we all have been through it. We all have a story to tell,
and a lot of people think, the gay flag and the rainbow and the gay flag stands for because we're a box of crayons or Fruit Loops or colorful fruity things. Actually, that is exactly the meaning of the gay flag, because you must go through the storm in order to learn and get to that golden life. And that's what everybody in life has to achieve, whether they like it or not.
It is so true. Amen to that. You are preaching to the choir, I tell you. And let me tell you, I think what you are doing is fabulous. I have to give you your props because we need more of that. The LGBT community needs to continue to have our voice heard, and you're a vehicle for that. You are being a vehicle for that. Yes, you're an activist in your own right.
Yes,
you really are.
Yes, I am. I like to do radio. promotions, and this is how I communicate with people all around the world. Everybody knows that I've been in New York, I've been Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, Miami, Florida, all around, certain places. And everywhere I go, I'm always staying active. I do multiple things. I sing